All aboard! Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's victim. It's a Hornby Railways, Class 86, and I got it on eBay for the bargain price of £20. And for those of you that are not familiar, this week you're thinking that doesn't look too bad on the turntable. That's because I'd had a bad week at work and I didn't feel like making videos. I just felt like sitting down and modelling. So I repaired this one off screen, but I've serviced the motor on screen so you can see some goddamn fruit flies. And it's the Hornby, it's Phoenix. I bought plates for it, I bought flush glaze for it. I bought another body for parts, I bought a pantograph. All in it ended up costing around another, 15 quid probably, for all the extras. Anyway, here's what it was like off eBay. There were the two club, well, before I get on to that, I don't know what the technical name is for it, but the junction box were missing off the top there where the black square hole is, and the pantograph were missing, and the insulators, the pot insulators, and the wire was damaged. So it had quite a few issues, let's say. But the biggest issues are yet to come. The cab had been stood on, or something, or it had been dropped onto the cab and the cab was smashed. As you can see, the pillars smashed open there. Big cracks in them, so I had to sit and glue and hold it with plastic cement. There's a pillar missing, so I got a body for 12 quid off eBay that had parts on it I wanted. I had the junction box, I had another set of insulators and wire that I could cobble a better one together of. There was a bit missing off that one that went on to another. And to improve matters, I got an extra set of etched plates on that can go on another. Anyway, here we are, opening the body. Opening it up, because I did all the work on it and didn't service it. And at this point you can see I've cut out the pantograph. It's a modern one in plastic, so it's not usable anyway. I've just clipped the two wires together and bypassed the switch. And at this point I'm disassembling the motor, checking the motor. And I couldn't work out why it were hard going getting the face plate off, and it turns out on this motor you're better off taking the wheel sets off. And there we are at this point, we've got the wheel sets off. And what I'm doing here, I've got a little piece of wet and dry, and I'm going over it with silver water salt on the commutator face plate. You can feel the rough edges and you can feel the wet and dry smoothing them out, smoothing them and polishing up, so it should improve matters. I found nearly everyone, if you go over it with wet and dry and solvo, it smooths off like the 3 areas with the edges on the 3 grooves are rough. Usually it smooths it down and it ends up silky smooth after. Here I'm taking the gate clip off the gears, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it up. Clean it up by brushing it with methylated spirits. Get all the old oils and greases off. Get it cleaner. Do the same to the gears. Yeah, at this point we're doing the same to gears and getting the oils and greases off them. And here we're assembling it. And what I'm doing, I'm just wiping a little bit of... I've got my motorcycle grease I use. Won't do it any harm. Just dabbing bits on, and I may well get some of the silicone grease or whatever it is. Maybe better, but that's not doing any harm. And at this point I'm putting the motor face plate back on. And there we go, it's clipped back into position. And here we're just dropping in the carbon brushes and springs, or I'm chasing them round everywhere more like. Had endless amounts of fun chasing it everywhere. I invented new swear words and all sorts. Apparently there's such a thing as a further mucker now. And here we go, putting the spring in. Much cursing, you've got to be careful here, especially with my shakes. Just the wrong little bit of compression and it's over the other side of the room. Because they don't look that springy, they only look small, but believe me, they're small and potent. They'll disappear over this other side of the room with the slightest bit of spring loading up. And here we go, putting the next one in. I finally managed to get it back together. And there we go, she's in. I'm just adjusting the actual flaps up now, returning the wires on to where they were. In here I oiled the axles before they went back in. And here the wheels are going back on. Make sure they're not nipped up too tight. And also make sure they're not too loose either. And at this point I'm oiling the bearings on the motor. And I had to glue the chassis back together because there were a snap in the chassis where the motor were. Luckily Tammy Extra thank you with that. And we're all back in. And I didn't actually test it because I know it'll be right. It was non-running when I bought it, but I actually got it running. I give it a little bit of oil and shove it right and start it. Anyway, here we are on the first section of my layout. Coming up soon I'll be doing my second section. I've made a start on it, so I'll be doing another layout video. but it looks just fine coming round there with the blue-grey executive stock. Anyway, thank you for watching. A big thank you to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, why the hell not? And if you press the bell icon for notifications, that'd be excellent. Anyway, for now, tatty pie, folks. Tatty pie.